This is such a powerful time in all of our lives when we see our whole global community engaged in this pandemic, and a very powerful time to recognize our own care for this world, care for each other, care for the planet, care for strangers, people that we don't know at all. So each of us has this capacity to love others, to appreciate others, and to feel the suffering that others are experiencing. So this is an innate human capacity. And we can also cultivate a deeper sense of connection, a deeper sense of our own power to extend our heartfelt care out to others. So it's a time in which we could feel quite helpless, and those of us that have the good fortune to be in circumstances where we're not continuously exposed to the virus, many of us have some privilege and are very grateful, of course, for that situation. But we know that there's so many of us that do not have that privilege and do not have the ability to keep a distance from others or to protect their own health. We also know there are many who are isolated and suffer from not being able to be in more contact with their families or their friends. So it's a time in which we could feel quite helpless, quite kind of overwhelmed by what we hear, by what we see, by what we know. And although many of us have taken this opportunity to really reflect and to be more in touch with what's of really value to us, and to be more in touch actually with loved ones, there are also other ways that we can nourish ourselves in this time. And one of those is through the practice of loving kindness and compassion. That we can take some time every day to recognize our own how grateful we are in our own situations. And we can take a moment to reflect on the suffering of others, the difficulties, the challenges that other people are suffering in terms of health, in terms of economy, in terms of their well-being. So just to take a little time every day to really engage in our own heartfeltness, that we tune into our own sadness for this world, sadness for others, and we also tune into the sense that our own heart strength can radiate out some love and strength and courage to people. So we take a moment to both appreciate and to be glad for our friends and family and strangers whose life is going well. We wish them happiness. We wish them well-being. We want good and things to happen to people. Of course we do, not only those in our close circles, but we can cultivate this for all people, whether we know them, even whether we like them or not. A sense of well-being and a sense that they could be happy. This sense of just unconditional affection and care, an unconditional love or loving attention for all beings. And likewise, we can take a moment to really identify with in a not in a downtrodden way, or not in a self-pitying or pitying way, but simply in an open-hearted human way. We can feel that others are having very difficult lives, very difficult challenges. We see it in the news, we hear it from friends. We know that this pandemic is causing enormous loss for people, deaths and illnesses and fearfulness, anxiety. So we can take a moment and reflect on that, the feeling of it, the feeling that we have and that we know others have. And we can say to ourselves, may this suffering be relieved. May this painfulness, whether it's emotional, physical, this level of anxiety and despair, isolation, this sense of disconnection, may people not suffer from that. May this be lifted. May they have strength of heart. May they have courage. So the practice of love and compassion is really feeling our own heart, both the joyfulness and appreciation of heart, but also the profound sadness of heart. And to recognize that there's real power in just the feeling and being able to extend out the very strong wish, the very strong aspiration that beings not suffer. So it's a way of engaging ourselves in a creative action. It's a way of engaging in positive, energetic conversation with this world, so that it is a nourishing and strengthening practice. So we are very happy to be able to spend a little bit of time together reflecting on our situation and on the enormous gift of humanness and human-heartedness that we can all extend out. Whatever love, kindness, care, compassion, courage, that we have an enormous natural resource in the heart, and that can be shared with others. There's no need for depletion there. That's a natural resource to be shared.